Speaking of leftist attempts to involve government in areas where it shouldn't be involved, Dylan Matthews over at Vox.com. He's a first-year econ student who should have failed. He says, getting to Canada-style healthcare costs would require cutting doctor salaries a lot. 33% for primary care, 52% for orthosurgeons. That's fine. They'll live. But it's important not to undersell the political difficulty. No, it's not fine. And this just demonstrates the lack of understanding of how exactly medicine works. Right? He's citing a study that shows that doctors in America are paid significantly more than doctors in other parts of the world. It shows that in Australia, doctors make about half what they make in the United States. In Germany, they make about 70%. In the UK, they make about 86% of what they make in the United States. The pre-tax earnings net of expenses in the United States as of 2008 was about $186,000 for a doctor. Believe it or not, that's actually not a lot of money for a doctor. The reason that's not a lot of money for a doctor is, number one, that is the average. There are a lot of doctors making below that and a lot of doctors making above it. If you're a dermatologist, you're probably making $500,000 a year. If you are a primary care physician, there's a good shot that you're making less than $186,000 a year, depending on where exactly you are practicing. But if you lower the amount of money, forcibly lower the amount of money that doctors are making, do you think more or fewer doctors are going to go into the business of doctoring? My wife and I, we had to spend on her college and medical school education. We spent, 4 years of UCLA plus 4 more years of medical school. So that would be a grand total of somewhere in the neighborhood of $350,000, $300,000 on her medical education. And then she had a 3-year residency. And in residency, residents are paid virtually nothing. They're paid basically less than minimum wage. If you actually average out the number of hours they work to the salary that they make, which is very often like $50,000, then you're actually averaging out to below minimum wage numbers for people who have been trained to take care of you. If you start cutting the salaries, and she's not going to get to work until she's 30. Once she becomes a doctor, she will be in her 30s. And the fact is that she's already a doctor, but she won't be a practicing doctor on her own until she's in her 30s. If you're going to make up for all that money, you actually are going to have to charge a lot of money in order to do it. If you want to lower the supply of doctors, all you have to do is forcibly lower the amount of money they can make. They'll live is not an answer to how you provide more supply of medical care. But this just shows the ignorance with which the left treats government intervention, whether it's with regard to Facebook or whether it is with regard to the medical system.